Hello, my name is David Houghton, B01788918, and this is my governance, risk and compliance strategy for the Auchenshuggle Community Development Trust, the ACDT. This is to create a flourishing future for Auchenshuggle and for all those who come to visit. The introduction and background to the Auchenshuggle Community Development Trust, the ACDT, has been created to regenerate the community high street for residents and visitors to the town. The ACDT will be the central organisation that will be formed to manage the various aspects that make up the board that will be heading this project. The ACDT must abide by specific legislation and certain guidelines so that they're eligible for government grants, different sponsorships, donations and third-party sponsors as well as other associations that like to be involved in the trust. And this has been addressed and displayed through the governance, risk and compliance document. The purpose of the ACDT is for the town to regenerate. It requires a group of people attending various tasks that it takes up to set up the community charity group. It will support local businesses, improve the infrastructure and public services to facilitate the economic and social regeneration. This is also to establish proper financial oversight and governance to gain the credibility of funders, stakeholders and the wider community. Got a governance structure. The board structure want to have 5 to 8 members assigned, the roles matching their skill set. They'll oversee development with committees set up for the various tasks required for it. The voting rights will be given to the general members who have signed up to the community trust and paid their membership, which is so far 120, over 120. There'll be board meetings held monthly and the annual general meeting will be held once a year. We have a risk management approach. This is to identify risks within the ACDT. So we have governance and organisational risks, and this makes a clear understanding of the guidelines and responsibilities to reduce duplication of tasks. There's financial risks, financial mismanagement. This could be funds being transferred to the wrong account, certain things bought over the limit, anything like that. And funding uncertainty, this could be whether a fundraiser doesn't make enough money, maybe they had a target of £1,000, maybe they get half of that, maybe waiting in government grants, things and other sponsors and things like that coming through, maybe the merchandise hasn't come through for the sponsor, could be anything like this. Also, a lack of transparency could be a risk, with possible breaches of financial regulations, and these have to be abided by carefully so that no penalties or losses are incurred. We also have legal compliance. There's no requirements for there are requirements for legal compliance that charities must adhere to. This is to ensure integrity when dealing with things such as votes or finances, along with everything else, to remain impartial. Included, there's these GDPR, which is taken seriously within charities, and it must be abided by for personal and financial reasons, for security and privacy as well. And the charity regulations have taken into account all the necessary charity regulations and legislation, and this is shown through the document. I have a control framework as well. The purpose of the controls are to ensure the compliance with the governance guidelines, and it's to stay aware and practice in addressing and preventing risks where possible. The control framework also helps oversee the financial data and processing and the storing of it as well as operational compliance controls in place as well. In the Auchenshuggle Community Development Trust, we have codes of conduct, which are very important. What are the codes of conduct, you might ask? Well, these are the moral values that we'd like the ACDT members to abide by and act on when dealing with matters involving the community trust. Core values include the standards and principles that guide the behaviour within the ACDT. Expected behaviour and daily practices include social and environmental responsibilities to ensure operations are carried out responsibly. Diversity and inclusion ensures everyone is welcomed and included in the organisation and the management of events at the ACDT, if they choose, of course. Devotion and responsibility should embrace the willingness to the success and help with any improvements if needed. We have IT and cyber security considerations as well. These are important. These considerations have been implemented throughout the proposed document outlining the whole ADCT regeneration plan, such as providing cybersecurity training to ADCT members that are responsible for online transactions, ensuring the storing of member details is done safely and securely, They'd learn to identify external cyber risks and mitigate and avoid threats such as phishing attacks or other data breaches. Overall, the aim is to strengthen the cyber resilience within the ACDT. The conclusion is ultimately the governance, risk and compliance plan for the Auchenshuggle Community Development Trust is to ensure that the community succeeds in regenerating the town for the people that live there, the visitors bringing tourism and the economy for the town and future generations. Thanks for listening.